Peace for Ukraine or you reign.
With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 4 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਭਾਸ਼ਾਵਾਂ। ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇਖੋ suprememastertv.com/schedule.
That true Brahman shines forth grand, divine, inconceivable, smaller than small. It is far beyond what is far and yet near here. It is hidden in the cave of the heart, among those who see it even here. Please continue watching to hear more wisdom from the Upanishads, an ancient sacred Hindu text.
Vegan, thumbs up man.
Animals feel pain just like us. Animals feel love just like us. We will never compromise. We will never compromise. Now, just like us. Animals is up left, just like us. Animals is up left, just like us. Animals are feeling just like us.
Tamne Maline Anand Thai means pleased to meet you in Gujarati, one of the official languages of the Indian state of Gujarat. Kind viewers, I am Kavya. The respectful Gujarati people understand your longing for liberation and encourage you to study the teachings of the ancient wise masters. Through following the noble precepts, may your lives be tranquil and free.
The animal people not fear you in the park?
Uh-oh. Thanks.
My God. It's your hand.
You can fly. You just need to rest a little bit.
Of course not. You are vegan now.
Welcome to selections from the Upanishads, Mundaka Upanishad, an ancient Hindu text, part 2 of 2 on words of wisdom. Hinduism is believed to be one of the oldest living religions in the world, with origins tracing back to the ancient Vedic civilization in India. The earliest Hindu scriptural text, The Rig Veda was compiled in approximately 900 BC. Other sacred Hindu scriptures include the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana, among others. Of all the Vedic literature, the Upanishads are known for their in-depth exploration of concepts that are at the spiritual core of Hinduism. The teachings in the Upanishads are generally presented as dialogue between teacher and disciple. Many of these conversations elaborate on the spiritual seeker's path to the highest inner truth. Included in the discussions are concepts like Atman, generally defined as the higher self or the soul, and Brahman, the Supreme Lord who represents absolute truth. The oneness of soul and God is also key to Vedic teachings and leads to further discussions about the unity of all life and the unchanging nature of truth.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Let us continue with excerpts from the Mundaka Upanishad. This Upanishad focuses on the science of the higher knowledge, the nature of Brahman, and how to gain liberation and bliss through becoming one with Brahman. Mundaka Upanishad, 3rd Mundaka, 1st Kanda. Two birds, inseparable friends, cling to the same tree. One of them eats the sweet fruit, the other looks on without eating. On the same tree, man sits grieving, immersed, bewildered by his own impotence, on Isa. But when he sees the other Lord, Isa, contented and knows his glory, then his grief passes away. When the seer sees the brilliant Maker and Lord of the world as the person who has his source in Brahman, then he is wise, and shaking off good and evil, he reaches the highest oneness, free from passions. For he is the breath shining forth in all beings, and he who understands this becomes truly wise, not a talker only. He revels in the self, he delights in the self, and having performed his works, truthfulness, penance, meditation, etc., he rests firmly established in Brahman, the best of those who know Brahman. By truthfulness, indeed by penance, right knowledge, and abstinence must that self be gained. The self whom spotless anchorites gain is pure, and like a light within the body. The true prevails, not the untrue. By the true the path is laid out, the way of the gods, Devayana, on which the old sages, satisfied in their desires, proceed to where there is that highest place of the true one. That true Brahman shines forth grand, divine, inconceivable, smaller than small. It is far beyond what is far and yet near here. It is hidden in the cave of the heart, among those who see it even here. He is not apprehended by the eye, nor by speech, nor by the other senses, not by penance or good works. When a man's nature has become purified by the serene light of knowledge, then he sees him, meditating on him as without parts. That subtle self is to be known by thought, ketas, there where breath has entered fivefold. For every thought of men is interwoven with the senses, and when the thought is purified, then the self arises. Whatever state a man whose nature is purified imagines, and whatever desires he desires for himself or for others, that state he conquers, and those desires he obtains. Therefore, let every man who desire happiness worship the man who knows the self.
You aren't a spoilt child of an oligarch squandering all hard-earned inheritance, are you? Okay, now, be vegan, make peace, save our world.
Third Mundaka. Second Khanda. He, the knower of the self, knows that highest home of Brahman, in which all is contained and shines brightly. The wise who, without desiring happiness, worship that person, transcend this seed, they are not born again. He who forms desires in his mind is born again through his desires here and there, but to him whose desires are fulfilled and who is conscious of the true self within himself, all desires vanish, even here on earth. That self cannot be gained by the Veda, nor by understanding, nor by much learning. He whom the self chooses, by him the self can be gained. The self chooses him, his body, as his own. Nor is that self to be gained by one who is destitute of strength, or without earnestness, or without right meditation. But if a wise man strives after it by those means, by strength, earnestness, and right meditation, then his self enters the home of Brahman. When they have reached him, the self, the sages become satisfied through knowledge. They are conscious of their self. Their passions have passed away, and they are tranquil. The wise, having reached him who is omnipresent everywhere, devoted to the self, enter into him wholly. Having well ascertained the object of the knowledge of the Vedanta, and having purified their nature by the yoga of renunciation, all anchorites, enjoying the highest immortality, become free at the time of the great end, death, in the worlds of Brahma. Their 15 parts enter into their elements, their devas, the senses, into their corresponding devas. Their deeds and their self, with all his knowledge, become all one in the highest imperishable. As the flowing rivers disappear in the sea, losing their name and their form, thus a wise man, freed from name and form, goes to the divine person, who is greater than the great. He who knows that highest Brahman becomes even Brahman. In his race, no one is born ignorant of Brahman. He overcomes grief, he overcomes evil. Free from the fetters of the heart, he becomes immortal. And this is declared by the following Rik verse. Let a man tell this science of Brahman to those only who have performed all necessary acts, who are versed in the Vedas, and firmly established in the lower Brahman, who themselves offer as an oblation the one Rishi, Agni, full of faith, and by whom the rite of carrying fire on the head has been performed, according to the rule of the Atharvanas. The Rishi, Angiras, formally told this true science. A man who has not performed the proper rites does not read it. Adoration to the highest rishis, adoration to the highest rishis. For more information, please visit Internet Sacred Text Archive, sacred-texts.com.
Vegetarians should have that moral basis that a man was not born a carnivorous animal, but born to live on the fruits and herbs that the earth grows. Beloved Mahatma Gandhi Ji, vegetarian.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Belarus is one of them. Belarus Civil Code Article 137 states that the cruel treatment of animal people, contrary to the principles of humaneness, shall not be permitted. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. so be it.
Gracious viewers, it was a delight that you could join us for today's Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is The World Wants Peace, Protests Against Russia's Unjust War in Ukraine, or Ukraine, Part 5 of a multi-part series, right after noteworthy news. May we all reach heaven's bliss at the end of life's journey through being compassionate and noble.
We pray for Ukraine or you reign.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.